I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. What? Down in my heart. What? Down in my heart. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. What? Down in my heart to say. Hi guys, so I wanted to touch base with you guys again. I'm very happy today because I wanted to share with you guys. Why am I yelling? Why am I yelling? I'm sorry. I wanted to share with you guys. Just kidding. I know you guys don't like me soft. I'm sorry. I'm never soft in my videos or in person. I'm sorry. But anyways, okay. If you haven't noticed, I'm the type of person where I like to, cheer people up. I am not bubbly when you meet me. I am very, calm. I'm a calm person. It's just when I get excited for something, I get excited, okay? And I will show it. Trust me. I will show my excitement. Do you got the joy? Well, I wanted to share with you simple tips or strategies, things that will help you smile in the midst of a storm. Everyone has their difficulties, everyone has their struggles, everyone has whatever they're going through, okay? And everyone is going through something. If it has to do with, school or personal life or just anything that in your life is going like very hectic and stressful. And I've been feeling that way too. Recently I'm struggling, sometimes I get unhappy. Trust me, I'm not always happy, okay? I do have my down days, but I have found that, through my happiness, I have found ways to overcome that, sad face, So personally, for me, I'm the type of person where I like to cheer people up. I like to bring enthusiasm and just, a fun environment wherever I go. If it has to do with school, work, church, going to like an outing with friends or anything. I always like to have fun, and I always like to, put positive people around me, and I like to be that positive person. And for me, that's just how I am and just how I am inside. And I found that, through my difficulties, everyone struggles, and I found that if you just stop looking at the negative things and stop looking at what the whole problem is, and you just take a far step back from that difficulty, you will find that you'll be happy. For example, if you look at something very closely, like let's say this, okay, you're looking at this, cover very closely. Do you see anything around? No. When you take a step back, you will see that the problem or the difficulty of not being able to see anything is very small. It's just like a problem. If you are too close to the problem, and if you're too close to that struggle or difficulty, you cannot see the whole big problem if you're so close, like this, If you're so close to me, you can't really see the full me, right? You can't see my body, you can't see nothing. But if I take a far step back, you will see slowly the problem or the whatever you're trying to look at is not that small. Look at what you're blessed with. Look at what you're grateful for. Look at all the stuff that, that over empowers that negative or that struggle. For me, I don't want to preach down your throat, but this is how I am. Christ is part of who I am. And with Christ and God in my life, I know that I can face any struggle or any storm out there because He is bigger than any of that. And I believe that, when you have faith and when you believe, it's already done. It's already, spoken for. If you believe and if you already proclaim that you have overcome that struggle, you already overcame it. You know what I mean? And God, if you put your trust in Him, you will find that everything will go down smoothly. Everything has a season. Everything has a moment. Nothing is, going to stay the way it is. You're going to feel, sad. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel deceived or whatever feeling or bad feeling that you have. You're going to feel like that. But it's only for a season. This too shall pass. In other words, have that in the back of your brain. Always have that in the back of your brain. And that's what has helped me, you know, look at the bright side of things and always be happy in the midst of a storm. I mean, I don't always, you know, be like that, but I try to be, and I try my best to be strong. If it has to do with heartbreak, has to do with, you know, money issues, if it has to do with, you know, having kids, or just anything possible that you can figure out or can think of, you need to overcome that, and don't let it define you or rule over you. Another way is I talk to people that, you know, have been in my shoes, to, you know, my elders, or I look to my mom. I look to anyone like has been in my shoes and that is older, that understands what I'm going through. I like to talk to them and ask for advice, or just talk to them, and just, it helps when you have someone there to just talk to and they just listen. You just pour your mind out and they just listen to you. That really helps, because it takes off all those thoughts and all those, you know, problems off your head and into, you know, the environment, you know. Are you get what I'm saying? If you're gonna think negative thoughts, you're gonna get negative results. I admit I am not always happy. I'm not bubbly or perky, you know. I get on my down days, but you know, there's a grieving process. You have to grieve, you have to get all your tears out. Then you gotta pick up yourself, dust yourself off, and then you move on. You do not sit there and just feel sorry about yourself all the time. Because yesterday is gone, okay? I'm moving on. You know, that's life. Life does that to people. Life can destroy you. Life can do all this other stuff to you that you don't want to happen. It's up to you to make that change. You gotta make that change, and you gotta think positive and just smile. Smiling helps me. I mean, smiling is a thing that, you know, is part of who I am, and part of something that, you know, I'm so obsessed with smiles. I'm obsessed, okay? And you know, even when I'm having a bad day, I like to just smile at people, just because it might help them through their day. Look, I'm not saying you should be this bubbly, perky, always happy person, you know, when you're mad, sad, angry, depressed, you know. Just try your best. Do your best. And don't let negative things define your result of where you're going or trying to accomplish. Don't ever let that hinder you. So I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I shall talk to you in my next video. Bye! I talked to maybe higher authority, not a higher authority. What is this, like criminals? Criminal Minds. Wait, what? I didn't even watch that show.